Alright folks, we're back, and we're peeling back another layer of the Bigfoot mystery. This time, we're stepping into the past, because as much as people think of Sasquatch as a modern cryptid, the truth is, reports of large, hair-covered humanoids go back centuries, and I mean that literally. Settlers in the 1800s, for trappers, prospectors, even military scouts, all left journals or logs describing creatures that sound almost identical to today's accounts.
Yes, and those old documents are more than just footnotes in weird history. They paint a picture of early encounters that weren't sensationalized. They were often mentioned in passing as part of day-to-day struggles in the wilderness, and that lends them a strange credibility. It wasn't campfire lore back then, it was danger, uncertainty, survival.
I came across an account from 1840. A missionary in the Washington Territory wrote about a local tribe warning him not to travel through a particular stretch of forest after dusk. They called it the land of the tall shadows and described figures that moved between trees without sound, leaving behind nothing but torn bark and crushed pine cones.
That phrase, tall shadows, appears again and again, and not just in the Pacific Northwest. In Cherokee legend, there are stories of the Nunai, spirit people who protect the mountains. Some say they appear like humans, but larger, wilder, and vanish before your eyes. It raises the question, are we dealing with a biological entity or something else entirely?
And if you go global, it gets even weirder. The Yeti in the Himalayas, the Yowie in Australia, the Almas of Siberia, even in the jungles of Vietnam during the war. Soldiers reported seeing creatures they called rock apes, covered in red hair, bipedal, throwing stones from the trees.
It's a worldwide phenomenon, and yet each culture describes it in similar terms: the height, the hair, the strength, the intelligence, and almost always the eyes. Mark, the eyes are the one detail that never changes.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because this is what gives me goosebumps. Almost every encounter, even the briefest ones, the witness always mentions the eyes, not just that they're reflective, but that they're aware, intelligent, judging.
I interviewed a man in Northern California who swore he locked eyes with one of these beings. He was elk hunting, and he'd climbed into a tree stand near dusk. He said he felt uneasy the whole time, like the forest was holding its breath. And then, about 20 feet away, a shape stood up from behind a log, 7 feet tall, silent, just watching him, and the moment their eyes met, he said he felt shame. Like he was intruding on something sacred. He climbed down and left everything behind.
That emotional reaction is so common. People feel they've been judged or warned, not attacked, not hunted, but warned, and it doesn't fit the image of a mindless beast. It fits something with a code, with limits.
There are even accounts where people have tried to shoot at Bigfoot and their weapons jammed, or they felt paralyzed by fear. Not normal fear, but a kind of oppressive weight, like something was telling them not to cross that line, almost like the forest itself was stepping in.
I had a guest on the show last year, an ex-logger from Oregon, tough guy, worked in the woods his whole life. He told me he once found a deer, completely intact, just laying dead on a boulder, no wounds, no blood, just placed there, and above it, claw marks 10 feet up on the trunk. He said the moment he saw it, he turned around and walked away. He didn't even tell his crew.
That speaks to a kind of ritual, doesn't it? Not just hunting, but placement, warning, even ceremony. Some believe Bigfoot isn't just a creature, but a caretaker, maybe even a guardian of certain wild places, and what we interpret as fear or threat might be boundaries we weren't meant to cross.
It's strange, Sarah. The more we talk about this, the more I feel like Bigfoot might not be the mystery at all. Maybe we are. Maybe it's us who forgot the rules.
That's exactly what many indigenous traditions believe. The forest had laws long before we came, and those laws are still in effect. We just don't remember how to follow them.
We're going to continue our journey into those forgotten laws after this short break. When we come back, we'll dive into modern-day hotspots, patterns in sightings, and some chilling first-hand listener experiences that still haunt my inbox. You're listening to The Unseen Hour. Stay close.